the Giants have two first round picks in the NFL draft, and they have the 17th overall selection and the 6th selection. But a lot of speculation has been going around that they're going to draft Dwayne Haskins or a quarterback, and I don't think that this is a good idea. And I've been holding this opinion for not very that long because I keep debating about it because I'm like, yeah, we could get a franchise quarterback if we draft the quarterback now, and but then if we don't, we'll force ourselves to get a franchise quarterback next year, right? So people would know what we're doing. You know what I mean? And we kind of want to have that secrecy so people don't know if they need to trade up or not. You know what I mean? Or trade down. Uh, but yeah, I don't think that the Giants need to draft a quarterback, and here's why. So when you factor in the 2020 draft, you have Tua Tagovailoa, you have Justin Herbert, all of these great prospects that could be great quarterbacks. It's a much better quarterback draft class, right? If the Giants are not competitive this year, which a lot of people don't think they are, because when you look at their roster, it's not really that good. Then you kind of have to factor in we're gonna get maybe a top 5 pick if we're not playing good, which a lot of people don't have us playing good because of our current state of mind when it comes to our team, right? So you have that, and then on top of that, you could just draft two defensive players, which I wouldn't be mad at because you have the second easiest schedule throughout the entire NFL, right? And so that second easiest schedule could be spent on two starting caliber defensive players. Because if you get a quarterback, he's sitting behind Eli Manning. That's period. The Giants are not going to make that quarterback. They're not going to throw him to the wolves, right? On top of that, right, if you draft two defensive players, they're both going to be starting, unlike a quarterback if you draft them. The only way that quarterback will be starting is if we're eliminated from playoff contention and they want to see what the backup quarterback can have, or if Eli Manning gets hurt, which has not happened in a long time. Plus, if you do decide to take a quarterback now, you'd set them up for next year, but I'd rather use that pick on building up a defense and use all these picks on building up an offensive line and a defense rather than getting another quarterback, because you might as well get Tua Tagovailoa or Justin Herbert next year when if you do have that top 5 pick, you can get one of those guys, you know what I mean? And you wouldn't be in such a bad spot. And plus, you would be having a great offensive line to put him with. You'd have a great defense to surround him with. You'd have a great team overall for him to play with. So, you could even get a wide receiver in free agency. You know what I mean? Because you're gonna have 100+ mil in cap space, which can be used to get weapons for your offensive line, or even like if you don't draft any, you can use that before the 2020 draft and the offseason right before the 2020 draft in order to get offensive linemen or wide receivers or whatever you may need, defense, whatever. You know what I mean? And that way you won't be just throwing him out to the wolves and letting them feed on him. You know what I mean? Because if you get a quarterback now and he's sitting out, I feel like it'll be a wasted pick because that quarterback that you take at 6 or 14 or 6 or 17 could be a star defensive player that is starting, gaining experience, and developing. You know what I mean? Rather than having a backup quarterback who's not really going to, like, he's going to learn a lot from Eli. I just don't think it'll make sense. You know what I mean? When you can get a defensive caliber player, like a starting defensive caliber player who will easily develop, like very fast, because you would have the second easiest schedule in the NFL, like I said previously. But that's just my thoughts. I really don't think that we should force ourselves into taking a quarterback if we don't think that there's one there. Obviously, if Dwayne Haskins is there at 6, it all really just depends on the situation. Because if Dwayne Haskins is gone, I'm not taking the chance at Kyler Murray. I'm sorry. I've changed my mind. Kyler Murray is not the franchise quarterback. It's Dwayne Haskins, or it's either Dwayne Haskins or don't get one. As I said, it's not Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is eliminated. He is out. As much as I love Kyler Murray, I don't think that he would. I think he's going to be injury prone, right? And you don't want that in a franchise quarterback. But yeah, if Dwayne Haskins is on the board, it's going to be a debate. Okay, it's going to be a debate. We'll see. We'll definitely see. But we have the second easiest schedule in the NFL. I would love to get two defensive starting caliber players in the first with both of those first round picks. I do see them trading away some of their, maybe in a third, fourth. They have 3 sevenths, maybe trying to acquire a below average player that maybe they want to develop with those 7th round picks. there's an alternate approach that the Giants could use, right? So let's say that they end up not drafting a quarterback, which is what I am kind of aiming for them not to do. You could always try to get Josh Rosen, who was reportedly on the trade block, for a third round pick or even a second round pick. So you get your franchise quarterback, right? Then it's like, okay, it's reasonable because you're not taking him in the first round. You know what I mean? And that's the only reason I don't want to take a quarterback now, is because those first round picks can be used on starting, like, very good defensive players, you know? And if we can get Josh Allen for a third round pick, I would not be mad at all. I would not be mad. A second round pick, it's like, I don't know if I would want the trade to go through, but a third, I would not be mad. And even then, if you wanted to, a lot of people underestimate the importance of having a backup quarterback. If you wanted to at that point, you could take Tua Tagovailoa in the 2020 draft and have Josh Allen as a backup. So you basically draft the franchise quarterback. You know what I mean? You'll have a backup just in case that guy gets hurt. We've seen this happen time and time again. Of careers get ended due to serious injury. It can happen to anybody. Or, you know, if somebody has to sit out a season. It happened to Carson Wentz a whole lot, where Nick Foles had to step in and be a great guy, and be a great quarterback. You know what I mean? And he won them a Super Bowl just because they had a good backup quarterback. What would they have done if they didn't have that guy? They would have to go to free agency because it would be past the trade deadline. And they probably wouldn't get a quarterback good enough then. So, you know, there's alternate ways they can go with this. But yeah, we'll definitely see what happens. A lot of people are speculating about this. We'll see what happens. And I'm really interested in to see what's going to play out. And we will see that come draft day in April 25th, I believe it is. But until then, see you on the next video. And peace out.